one of those things where if it wasn't for what you see outside right now and a place to raise my kids and a place to have good neighbors and people who care for you, that's the value. That's now we're talking about value. We're not talking about dollars, whether it's dollar sense, economic sense or not. We're talking about value. If it wasn't for the value that you get here, I'd have probably been gone a long time ago.
Alaska grown, locally grown is obviously what we do, and it's real important to us. We feel it's a fresher product. I think the flavors are better. I prefer them if you buy a head of broccoli that was cut yesterday in the grocery store, or you buy a head of broccoli that was shipped up here from California. I think you're going to taste the freshness. I'm not sure, thinking back, what made me want to do it, but what I do enjoy about it is I enjoy kind of the farming lifestyle, if you will. It's the best explanation. I work close to home. You're operating your own business. You have control over what you're doing, and you can. The more you put into it, the more you can receive out of it.
I grew up on this farm. I was 4 when we moved here, so I've been here about 50 years. And we farm on 135 acres. Only about 11 of it is certified organic vegetables. We're probably the largest organic vegetable farm in the state that does what we do with many varieties. We raise over 70 varieties. If I get tired of hoeing, there's always a tractor to fix. If I get tired of that, then there's a fence to fix. And if I get tired of that, I can sit in front of the computer and figure out the weather for the next few days. It's just endless variety. I enjoy interacting with people. That's why I do market gardening. I really enjoy selling at market. It's fun knowing my customers.
Many people will come to the smaller family-owned greenhouses because they're looking for something that they can't find at the box stores. And sometimes it's just the personal interaction. Sometimes it's the setting. They love to watch the pygmy goats and the chickens, and you know, it's just our farm setting is part of the attraction for some of those people too.
We had a little vision for farming, like we thought it was a good idea. We had no idea what it entailed, but we did know that it was something new that we wanted to learn, and since we were out here, we wanted to experience it. 6 o'clock in the morning, milking starts, and it's just milking, and then 6 o'clock in the evening is when we do our main chores. That's when we feed everything and make sure that the cow gets milked again, and then of course getting the product ready for sale. We do that every single day. I think people really enjoy being able to see where their food comes from and being able to talk to the farmer that does it and build a rapport with them and know what they're eating as far as what's been fed to the animal that laid this egg, how are they living, are they being cared for, and people can tell the difference. They taste it, they see it, And so to them, it's worth paying a little extra for that. Every day holds a joy, and there's always something new going on, whether it's a new struggle, a new thing we have to work through, or just enjoying the chickens. And then sometimes the reality hits and you realize, you know, this was fun yesterday, but it's not so fun today. And there your character gets shaped because you have to keep plodding on. And that's a good thing. Go on, girl.
In my family, both sides, you can't find a farmer. I mean, you go back probably 10, 15 generations before you find a farmer in my family on either side. I married into it. I don't mind the hard work. I don't mind the long hours. I don't even mind not making a whole lot of money. I eat well. That's my reward. You know, when I get depressed about how much money I don't have, I say, well, at least I eat like I make $100,000 a year. Because I can. You know, I get to have organic vegetables every meal, fresh eggs whenever I want fresh eggs, premium pork whenever I want pork. You know, and so I don't have to go to the grocery store to get it. I go to my backyard. And so that part of it matters a lot to me. I think the really important thing is my kids. I have 5 kids. The oldest is going to be 8 this year. But you ask my 3-year-old daughter what her name is, and she'll say, I'm Ada the farmer girl. That is her identity. And she loves helping with chores. She likes being with the animals. They all like going out and helping us harvest in the fall and picking potatoes and stuff. And it's preserving what will hopefully be the next generation of farmers. A lot of it came out of listening to my customers and what do they want? You know, what are they looking for? What quality do they want? And then figuring out how to make it so that they got quality, but I can still make enough money to make it feasible. Because I can't produce 500 head of hogs a year, and that would, you know, and to do that, you gotta be a factory farmer. And when you factory farm, the quality of your animal goes way down. Your prices go down too, but the quality is not there, so my clientele that are here for organic vegetables, they're not going to want a pig that was raised in the jail cell. They want a pig that was raised on the dirt, rooting through the ground, eating rotten logs, and chasing other pigs around. They want an animal that was raised like an animal was meant to be raised. They don't want confinement, but it really changes how you do things and how big you can go with it. I think that's the important thing, is to actually have it be a profitable and fun experience for your kids so that they're not repulsed by it, because most kids, by the time they get to college, you know, if they grew up on a farm, they don't want nothing to do with the hard work anymore, and daddy didn't make any money, we were just poor farmers, and I don't want to be that way. And so it's finding the premium products to grow so that you can still make a living, because you have to make a living. But then being able to teach your kids the skill sets that they need to succeed in whatever they do, and if they choose farming, that's wonderful.
This state is very unforgiving agriculturally, and when you're raising animals, that's the biggest thing. It's great to see them out here on this nice green ground, you know, and see them taking care of themselves and eating. But when January hits, and this is a frozen wasteland, and believe me, this is a beautiful farm, but in the wintertime, the wind comes out of the Matanuska Valley, and we'd be standing like this out here right now.
We are weather dependent, and you know, in California and Arizona, they are water dependent. When you wake up down there in some of those states, you know that the sun is going to shine. And the only thing that you've got to do is make sure that you've got enough water for that sunshiny day, and or else they'll just wilt and wither and burn up and die. But up here, when you wake up in the morning, if the sun's shining, it may be cold and wet by afternoon, and when the sun was shining in the morning, you say, I've got to irrigate, so you irrigate, and then in the afternoon it rains for 3 or 4 days or 10 days, whatever. And so that weather, that dependent on weather is probably our biggest critical thing. Even those vegetable farmers, the conversation that they really want to know is, how does the vegetables grow bigger and what makes them grow sweeter? And especially after you give them a sample of it. They never had anything that tastes like that. And I've had a lot of them come here, and they're absolutely amazed at the weather, especially if they get here on a nice day. And yeah, they're just amazed at and the sunlight just amazes them. And so they want to take some of the seeds that I have that grow certain things. They want to take them outside to Texas, Louisiana, Florida, wherever. And when I explain to them that they're cool season crops, and they, you know, if you get them too much heat and besides that, your country down there is full of bugs and fungus and bacteria that these plants can't handle. And what you do is that you start early in the spring, and you just go till it gets so that you can't go in the fall time. And sometimes in fall time, it's the best time because we just get for some reason or another, we get a nice weather window in the fall, and things just are really, really good.
Because this one just wants to go to the market. It's so pretty.